Hi there, I'm Anna Redding and I'm pleased to be mixing it up with you today. I have a set of questions in my mixing bowl that I use for almost everything. So I'm going to go ahead and pick one. What is your go-to tool or material in your studio and why? Well, besides the mixing bowl, I'm very fond of my drill, which as you can see is really well used. I use it to mix up all sorts of materials like jesmonite, cement, tile adhesive, coloured material. So it's a mixing tool, but also it's for fixing things together. So my drill is really well used. Besides that, I'm also really fond of my dustpan and brush. A lot of the materials that I use, when they dry, they flake and chip and they make a lot of dust. So I'm consistently sweeping that up and then keeping the residue in Tupperware pots. So dustpan and my drill and my mixing bowl. What do you do in your spare time? I particularly enjoy gardening and trying really hard to get things to grow. I like to grow things from seed. It's a bit of a challenge and makes it really exciting when they come to life and flower or fruit. I'm not that precious about gardening though. I love a weed. I think that they're an important part of the ecosystem of any landscape. And yeah. Okay, next question. Can you describe the first piece of artwork you remember making? I think the first piece of artwork I can really strongly remember is a piece I made before my GCSEs. There was a new art teacher that arrived at the school. His name was Mr. Jepson, and he had an incredibly encouraging and open-minded view of what art could be. He wasn't particularly interested in representational drawing or things being right or wrong, and it was at that point that I felt like I was able to be free and open my mind within the art room, beyond other lessons where there was a textbook with the incorrect or correct ways to answer things. So the project was to do with creating an artwork in response to a city or a place, and I chose Las Vegas, even though I've still never been. Something about the glitzy lights and the gold and the Americana of it all. So I went about researching Las Vegas and obviously discovered Cadillacs and Elvis impersonators and massive corporate hotels above casinos. So using metallic paper and some fabric that I dyed blue, navy blue with my mum, and then I stuck gold stars all over it, and I cut out and collaged together a casino hotel, and in the foreground, in front of a kind of blue starry night sky, and in the foreground was an Elvis impersonator in a pink and silver lapelled suit with this kind of cardboard Cadillac that went across the front of the whole composition. It was quite something actually. slightly different to what I make now, but formative. What piece of information or advice do you think every artist should know? Something that I like to begin with when I work with young people is the idea that there is no right or wrong. I think it's easy to think that there is a route to success or a route to artwork being correct, and I actually think the gaps in between that, the areas where things are surprising and the unknown, is where artwork is created. And kind of alongside that, sometimes I teach and lecture, and I work with older students, and I think the advice, if I'm asked, that I like to give is that there are as many routes to being an artist as there are artists. The common idea that those with the most press, or those whose have the spotlight shone on them the most in the art world, are the ones to emulate. I think there are some brilliant artists who work like that, but that there are so many other ways to engage with creativity, and just being able to make the work and finding your route through the dilemma of creation is the most important part, even if at times it's a struggle. I'm going to do one more. Tell us about your experience of winning the Mark Tanner Sculpture Award. So in 2018, I won the Mark Tanner Sculpture Award, which is run by Standpoint Gallery. It's a brilliant prize because it is focused on supporting an artist to make. So it felt like the perfect award for me, because the way I work is directly with materials in the studio, building, adding, subtracting, taking away, and finding out as I go what the work is going to become. Is a kind of, in a way, the work needs time to come into itself, and so the award gave me a whole year and some funding to spend time and get hold of materials and try loads of things out and work at scale. I then was working towards a solo exhibition at Standpoint Gallery, so I knew the layout of the gallery, and I knew it was a challenging space. It has really tall, thin skylight, and it has a lift shaft in there, and so there were all sorts of kind of environments that I had to negotiate with the sculptures. And then the following year it went on tour to Cross Lane Projects in Kendal and then Berry Art Museum, which were both really different spaces as well. So having the experience for me was really important about where the works were going to be shown, because each space created different challenges and different opportunities for the works to change and be shown in a different way. And the experience was made all the more better by the curator, Emma Benyon, who still works at Standpoint Gallery, and her close support and encouragement and good nature, and being there when I needed her, and her ability to make things happen without any fuss was really important, and I still call upon her when I need things. So yeah, here's to Emma and Mark Tanner Sculpture Award, and thank you for joining me. I'm Anna Redding, and if you want to know more about my work, then there's plenty of ways to find it online, including my website, annaredding.co.uk, and on Instagram my handle is @annaredding. Hope to see you out and about at some shows. Come and say hi. Thanks.